You're listening to the RSL Random Fan Podcast, the podcast for Real Salt Lake fans of every age and level of soccer knowledge and experience, even for those who have never played the game. Your hosts are lead instigator and Real Salt Lake fan from the beginning, Brandt, Major League Soccer OG and national team lover Tyler Thomas, and the kid who keeps them all in line and the only one with any fashion sense whatsoever, Brennan. On the podcast, they share their random thoughts after every Real Salt Lake match, win or lose. Besides team and game commentary, they work to bring you the highest quality Real Salt Lake and soccer community content. Content that includes interviews with Real Salt Lake insiders, current and former players, and random fans just like you. They also talk soccer from around the world, from the U.S. men's national team to little clubs like Manchester United, Arsenal, and my personal favorite, Tottenham, and the behemoth that is Crawley Town FC. Enjoy this episode of the RSL Random Fan Podcast.
Another episode, RSL Random Fan Podcast. I'm your host, Brandt, joined by
Tyler,
Brennan,
and we are here to talk to you about all the goals from the game against Columbus. So we should be here. Shouldn't take too long.
Nope.
You start, Brennan.
All right.
Let's start with the lineup. Go ahead, Brennan.
Oh, okay.
I'll yell.
McMath goal, Brody Gladvera, Catranis on the back line, Anelli Ojeda in that midfield, Gomez, Crooks, and Luna further up the field, and Chicho in the front spot.
And one interesting thing to take note of, RSL was playing the Columbus Crew Barely B team.
Yeah. So for those of you who didn't know, Columbus played midweek game against Tigres de Mexico. Mm-hmm. For those of you that don't know what that means, Mexico is Mexico in Mexican. Also Spanish. But the Tigres are no small task to overcome. And they did take it to the Tigres, so the Lions won't play the Tigers in the finals. The Tigers are out.
My.
Yeah, the Bears were coming. They had to go to Chicago. But anyway, so they played a midweek game in Mexico, then they traveled straight to Utah. So, yeah, they were wandering out on the pitch before the game, huh?
Yeah, checking it out, seeing where they're going to fall down, best place to stall the game.
Best place to fake an injury.
Yeah, they had it all.
So who are the players that were the Bees?
The Bees? Everyone except for center back Camacho.
Well, two of them. I would say that number 8 there was also our boy that comes up on the national team. What's his name? Aiden
Morris.
Yeah.
But
not Jordan and not his brother.
Of the 11 that started against Tigres, only Camacho started against RSL. So that is...
Yikes.
Oh, yeah, 10 changes, yeah.
That's about as heavily a rotated squad as you can have.
And it should have been a nice, easy night for us. However...
You would think that RSL would be ready to play, or would you?
I would think so.
I didn't know that they did that. Well, so I was coming in here like, okay, I'm going to stay positive, like we did some good things. But now that I know that 10 people have rotated out, and I remember for some reason it didn't register when I was going to the game because I was in a rush.
Yeah.
And they were like I was watching on Apple TV, and they were giving the rundown, and they said 10 changes from previous game. Didn't register that 10 changes are 10 whole different people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes me feel very unhappy.
So their starting goalie, we can start with that one.
Evan Bush.
Yeah, he's not their normal starting goalie. He hadn't had a game in a year and a half in an MLS game. He was with San Jose the year they were really bad, and so they let him go after the season. Obviously, it wasn't his fault because he's a pretty good goalie.
Yeah.
But he caught on as a backup, and then the other guy who ended up coming in for him because that guy got injured doesn't really even play for him. He just got the call up, and then Evan Bush got injured.
They signed him. I looked him up. They signed him earlier in the year.
Yeah.
Hagen was his last name. 27 years old. It was his first game in Major League Soccer, at least with Columbus Crew. And he's the
son of a wealthy entrepreneur.
starting keeper for the
I made
Guatemala,
that up. Sorry.
I was like, gonna say,
Guatemala national team starting keeper.
Oh, is he? Oh,
So
okay.
he does have.
So he's got something.
He's got some
under his belt.
experience.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't just run up from MLS Next.
He wasn't coming off the street as a cop and then.
Oh no.
Yeah, those stories.
They had a
stories are few and far
competition.
between now.
Like the Philadelphia Eagles had that competition. And
Yeah.
you have the random guy from pulling somebody out from a pub.
Yeah,
Come
I
play
love
for
it.
us.
Yeah.
So,
Worked
yeah.
in Colorado for a season.
They had
They had that guy that was a cop, and then
as the goalie. Huh?
yeah, he came in as a keeper, and then I think he punted in the NFL for a season too, and then went back to.
Just couldn't make up his mind what he wanted to do. Huh?
He likes to kick stuff.
That's true.
I mean, kicking stuff's fun, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I like kicking stuff.
So
You know who else likes kicking stuff? Crooks. Because it was like the 4th minute, and he got a yellow card, right? What minute was that? I got to look at my sheet. I did my prep, I promise. It's in there.
and we can talk about Rami
There it
Touchon. Oh yeah, it was
13th.
13th minute.
Yeah, pretty early.
Crooks
on.
with the yellow. Rami Touchon.
I didn't see it. Did you see it?
I didn't.
They didn't get it on the broadcast either. I went and watched it, and they didn't catch it on the replay. Weirdo.
Really?
I think it was a little bit of a push on the side. I don't know.
Frustration early, though.
It might have been a little of a retaliation,
Really?
but anyway, Rami Touchon made sure that everyone got a yellow. He went all Oprah.
Yeah.
And you get a yellow, and you get a yellow,
Yeah.
and you get a yellow.
Yeah.
And I think that that kind of hurt him in the long run.
Because he wasn't willing to give it a second yellow.
That's right.
Remy got to pull out the second yellow to Sean.
Yeah, you got to have the courage. If you're going to, that's one way to dictate the game is kind of pull out the yellow, but it also backfires when you've already yellowed everybody up before the second half. So then when
Like, for example?
the play comes in front of Pablo and he said it wasn't yellow. That was what they mentioned in the postgame. So, but I will say I don't know that any of his calls really affected the game, other than he kind of handcuffed himself when it came to having a more of a control of the game, because the players know you're not going to give a second yellow on some of this stuff. But
Well, Hamborn should have. I mean, he had a nice, nasty tackle late, right in the cleats of Catranas.
Yeah.
You know, he had one
That's
in the 59th minute, and then he had one around the 68th minute, and then, you know, their coach is no idiot, so he's like, get that kid out before he touches the ball again and gets a second yellow.
I was really impressed with how Colorado played.
Colorado?
It was Colorado.
Who did they
I watched
play?
that game.
Just thought you'd bring it up right now.
I just wanted to bring it up. They won 3-0.
We talked about Wilfred Nance.
Yeah, well, we want to talk about goals.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, Columbus. I'm sorry. I was really impressed with how their B team played. They
were intense.
intense. You could also see that they have a style they play.
And they didn't deviate from it.
Everybody played that style, and they were coached up. I think the gamesmanship was a little bit much, but I don't think that Real Salt Lake reacted incredibly well to the gamesmanship. Did it feel like that Columbus got under the skin of Real Salt Lake more than, say, vice versa?
I think there was a visual frustration of just what's happening, not necessarily of Columbus, but I think there's a lot of players just frustrated in general. Like if you look at Crooks was frustrated early, and Crooks was getting frustrated in possession. Like it didn't seem like he was really moving too well without the ball. Yeah, it was frustrating.
Which is interesting because I think he combined really well on 3 or 4 plays, really well. But I think he was frustrated because it's not quite the way he wants it yet.
No, I don't think he
Right?
enjoys the system at the moment.
Right, I agree. I think he's a little saddened.
Well, so let's talk. So talking
I
about
don't know how else to describe.
talking
that,
about
right?
the guy who had the most time on the ball was Gomez. It is as a player, I would be quite frustrated to constantly see him have the ball and not make any sort of finishes. You know, when you see them pile up and he has all these opportunities and he's not connecting, as a player on the opposite side, I would be livid. You know,
what was your favorite miss by Gomez?
Dude, do you know what the one that grinded?
I really want to know.
The one that grinded my gears the most. Was the breakaway play with Chicho running right up the center, and he plays a no look like side pass with no weight to it.
Right. And Chicho was making a back post run, and he gave it to him slowly, and Chicho had to change it and come into the penalty spot right in the path of the goalie.
Yeah.
And goalie just kind of picked it up. Huh?
So, opportunity was presenting itself, and we didn't finish, and it was kind of a theme of this game is we were unable to pretty much finish.
Yeah. My favorite was when he crossed it to Crooks, and the guy blocked it from coming to Crooks, and it hit the post. And it bounced up, and all Luna had to do was hit it on frame because the goalie fell down and was holding his arm.
So close.
And then Luna just handed it over. That was my favorite miss of the game. What was yours, Brandt?
Well, I think we should maybe take a step back.
Oh, come on. Tell us your favorite miss of the game first.
I will. Okay, my favorite miss was the Gomez whiff. All right.
Okay.
So
that one was probably the easiest goal of the game.
After thinking about it, I think there are some positives.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I may not really enjoy the style. I feel like bait and switch. Right? They talked
What do you mean?
All offseason, they talked about how, we're going to possess the ball. We're going to use the middle. We're bringing in Crooks, this guy that is going to be able to help us out. Orchestrate possession, and then they've just kind of abandoned any attempt to dominate the midfield and play through the middle. I was pointing out to Tyler, it's like you could count, especially when it got late, and that's, what happens when you're scrambling for a goal. But even during the game, you could count there would be 5 RSL players on offense lined up, on the line with the defenders, and then 5 RSL defenders
or 4
or 5 in the back passing the ball back and forth
because Columbus played such a high line,
and then there would be 20 yards in between them and nobody in the midfield except for a couple of
and a lot of times 3 guys offside.
Yeah.
I know, they can't play him the ball. Look, there's 3 guys offside right now, right?
But so to be positive, focus on the positives. RSL's in 4th. They're having a decent start. They're having a better start to the season than I expected. So you can't really argue with results. It's more of the aesthetics of it, how it looks. Is it fun to watch? Everybody wants to see them win. But if just one of those goals go in and we go up 1-0, I don't think Columbus gets a goal, this east side. So this may be a game you put a pin in and say, this was a game that just got away from them.
Did you think it wasn't fun to watch? Because I think if you're a neutral and you watch that game and you're like, okay, it's the Hustle Kids versus the Real Salt Lake's full team, and Real Salt Lake's getting chance after chance after chance, and a few minutes later, Columbus will break past midfield, and but then RSL's coming at him, and anyway, I thought it was entertaining. It was definitely, pumping the heart, get that going, and
that goes back to me just being accepting the fact that we're in 4th place, we're doing well, nice start of the season. It's just not exactly how I was hoping it would look, but you can't argue with the results.
Well, yeah,
is that fair?
Brian.
No, I think looking at the points scored this early in the season is stupid. I mean, how many times have we're in this situation now? How many times has the first through 6 been flipped midway through the season?
Yeah.
I think what we need to look at is, do we have an identity as a team? Do we have the ability to be aggressive, be able to finish later on in this season? Are we going to be something of a cohesive unit? I'm a little frustrated, realistically. Watching this game, it was just so much of, where is the tactics coming into play? Where is the opportunity that allows us to not only have one shot at the goal in transition, but multiple? Seeing only 1 or 2 guys make a run up field against 4 or 3. They had 3, but it seemed like they had 4 or 5 in the back most of the game. Where are these opportunities going to arrive? I mean, you watch other games because Real Salt Lake is super hard to find. Have you noticed that? If you go to Season Pass on Apple, You'll slide through, not on there. You have to search Real Salt Lake and then see who they're playing.
Or go down into Western Conference and then all the way to the right. We're the second to last team.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to change our name to A Real Salt Lake.
Correct.
So then we're first in the alphabet, and then we'll be first.
But
on
no,
the
not
screen.
even. Apple's not even like putting on as like a
Triple
quick
A
like
Real
what
Salt
to
Lake.
watch. Those
Right.
highlighted games. Never.
I know,
There's 4 of
especially
them.
when it's starting and you're pulling up the app. Everybody's coming onto the app to watch the games live.
Mm-hmm.
That's what everybody does on the app. So, like, put them up there, Apple. There was a few times this weekend where I was watching MLS games and I was like, put the camera on the ball. Like, I get it if you want to zoom in on one dude. There's this new technology with picture-in-picture where you can zoom in on something but still keep the other thing going just in case something happens. Drives me nuts that they're not better at this. And I get it. They're not the NFL. They haven't been doing this for years and years and years and getting every angle right and every replay perfect. But don't show me a replay where the camera's shaking and the guy shoots the ball out of frame and the cameraman zooms all the way past it and then runs into stuff and it's just JV. Just like me right there. It's a JV podcaster move. I apologize. Slamming into my mic.
Well, so
Step it up, Apple.
To be a negative Nelly, I want to compare somebody. So we have been super light on Gomez. Very light, right?
Because he's our most dangerous attacking player.
Right. So how were we with Cordoba?
Same thing.
No, we were not. We were so critical of that guy. We did not let him see the light of day. We were like wanting his head on his spigot. We wanted him like
the first like 8 games of the season where he missed.
No, it was like
everything.
the first 18. Like,
was it that long?
Yeah, he didn't start scoring. He had 8 goals in one season, and it last 7 games or 6 games or something like that.
It did take a while.
Right. So
and I don't think he's scored since then, honestly.
Right, and that was in a very terrible system that we did not agree with. We didn't enjoy, but it's like all of a sudden we just put higher hopes with Gomez, but he's not converting, and he's also getting isolated so often. Like on the ball, don't get isolated. On the ball, bring your friends. You need a back pass, you need a side pass, you need a front pass, you need a lob pass.
Fast though.
Yeah,
like on the
fast.
ball he stole, he snuck in between the defender and his touch. Like that was such a smooth glide in there to take the ball. But as soon as he took that touch, I was like, square it now. And he takes another 30-yard touch. I'm like, what are you doing? You just made it so hard on yourself. Just square it to Chicho now and let him finish.
Round of applause for
But he didn't.
Andrew Brody, though.
Andrew Brody had one of the prettiest passes I've seen all season.
Beautifully weighted, right in front, able to make it so Gomez doesn't lose a stride.
Yeah.
It was well done.
What happened on that one?
I think we missed it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Really?
that's right.
Oh,
Because Gomez had the ball, and then he didn't. Yeah.
Gotcha. My second favorite one was your favorite one, where McMath pinged it over the top to him. And he was away by 10 or 15 yards, and he was faster than the other team.
Yeah.
But he still slowed up at the top of the box and then shot it from 5 yards outside the box with no one in between him and the goal.
Well, first he couldn't control the ball too. He
Right.
fumbled it under his feet.
What I'm saying. Like,
he's 10 yards away from, and that
should have just kept going.
That could have been the play of the season because it was on a goal kick, and it was smart move.
McMath took it quick.
Yeah, I think Vera or Brody set the ball fast. McMath came screaming out from the back of the goal, slams it over the back line.
Yeah, I think it was Glad, but yeah.
They set it up for him, and it was just boom, quick. And it's like, oh, my gosh, come on.
But see, that's the thing. That play only works once a game because the defender's like, I'm an idiot. I'm not doing that again. I'm watching it. You know what I mean? Those surprise plays kind of only happen once a game. So if you're not on it and you don't finish that chance, then you can't punish them and you can't win games. But we didn't lose the game either.
Yeah.
Our defense looks solid. We didn't give up a ton of great chances.
The back line is really our saving grace.
And the defensive mids are playing well too.
Yeah, I can see that. The thing that I struggle with right now is the 4-2-3-1 scenario. 4-2-3-1, those forward midfielders, they need to be equal in what they're trying to do in the press. right? They should be equal. But we
What do you
have, well, Gomez moving far forward and shifting up. That relief should be on the opposite side, following in the same pace, with Crooks slightly behind to have that outlet, and then Chicho running up the center, right? So there's giving you different angles, different channels to work with. And it seems like Luna has been instructed not to be that mirrored run and falls back. And I don't understand that.
Yeah, how did you feel like Luna played in this game?
I think he got a headache. I don't know why. Probably because he got kicked in the head.
Maybe he tucked his shirt in too tight?
Maybe. I mean, I kind of like the look. It's
I'm digging the look. Keep your shirt tucked.
Yeah.
Keep your shirt on, Luna.
But yeah, I'm thinking for some reason this season he's got a different role, and it's not a compliment to his abilities. Because he had way more freedom last year. He had way more options to play the ball, and it wasn't so quick in a hurry to get to the box.
Yeah, I think for him, he looks to go, and he tries to set something up, and in his mind, if it's not there, he just kicks it back.
Well,
almost. You know what I mean? It felt like 3 or 4 times he was looking for something from the defender, didn't get it, and just kicked it right back. And I was like, that looked very disinterested. It was very much, kick it to my side, I'll just kick it back.
Well,
take somebody on. Like, that's what you were good at doing last year. Like, take them on. And when Barajas came in, that flipped, and Fidel started taking him on. Which, did you listen to the announcer say?
Barajas
Obama was on the ball with that guy. I was like, what are you talking about, man?
It almost looks like there's a little bit of disconnect or confusion on maybe how they work on it in practice and how it shows up in the game. Maybe in practice there's like, hey, if there's nothing there, let's control the ball, let's possess the ball, send it back around and reset. Whereas you get in the game, if Gomez gets the ball, he's just gone. Just down, and then that kind of throws everybody else off. They're not bringing Crooks and Luna into the game where they're trying to play more possession and hold the ball.
Different tempo.
And yet there were still so many opportunities.
Yeah, so that's
you know what I mean?
I think it's frustrating that they didn't score. If they score,
for sure.
If we get one goal, we probably get a couple others, and we probably win that game, no problem. We're not.
Wow, you just sounded like Pablo right there. We get one goal, we get 3. We get one goal, we get 3.
Yeah, in the post game, he had a lot of positives to talk about. So I think, like I said before, maybe it's a game you look back at in 5 or 6 games, go, oh, that was just a one-off. They learned from it, or you could say
we really just gave away 2 points.
We gave away 2 points, and they haven't figured anything out. But it's so early in the season, you just kind of have to put a pin in it and say, hey, let's take a look at this and see how we go moving forward. Because there were so many positives. Gomez really did play well. He was creating, but that final pass and when to give that final pass, how to give the final pass, just isn't there just yet. And he's only 22, so
yeah.
Focus on the positives. The outcome hasn't been where we want it to be, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't be concerned. I agree with Brennan. It's like, what's this going to look like 10, 20 games from now? Is it still going to be this chaotic system, and we're struggling to find that final pass, or is it all figured out and we are a juggernaut headed to the playoffs?
And I think that's why RSL played with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, because they were like, these little kids coming in here. Not everyone on the other team was a kid, by the way. But there were a lot of young kids getting playing time. And so
they had a 16-year-old starting, right? Or 2006?
Yeah.
He was born in 2006, whatever that math is.
18. Yeah, he's barely legal, but he's the one that probably should have gotten 2 yellow cards. But yeah, I mean, you kind of play with a chip on your shoulder when you're playing that. Like, oh, you come in here and just think you can waltz in with your kids and beat us? Oh, it's on now. But we created enough chances, we just didn't finish. And the other funny thing that I just can't get over for some reason, every time Pablo starts a press conference, the very first word out of his mouth is again. And like
we just barely started.
We ask him all these questions, and he almost every time he's like, again. And then he says, like, no, that's not again, dude. This is fresh. It's It's a new game. I don't know if you caught that, but that was a different game than the one.
Yeah, but the questions are always the same.
Not always.
The first press conference, he has something new, and then every press conference after, because it's
well,
all
again,
one season.
I'm repeating myself. No, he didn't. And he doesn't repeat himself. He's thoughtful and eloquent, and
maybe we
does
are
a good
asking
job.
the same questions over and over.
Well, you didn't ask the same question. You asked good questions. Maybe I repeat myself.
No, you had
maybe
good
I
questions
repeat
too,
myself.
Tyler.
No, maybe I repeat myself.
Well,
maybe I do repeat myself.
We did have the good, did have the good question about variation of service and what they're asking McMath to do.
Yeah.
But I do think that they did fall into the trap of just over the top.
And Brandt posted all the post game on Twitter. If you guys want to go check that out, at Brandt Random Fan. What's your Twitter?
No, it was RSL Random Fan Podcast.
Oh, you posted it on the
RSL Random Fan Podcast Twitter.
Yeah. He even tagged himself.
I tagged you. I tagged you. I know which one it is.
Sorry, I was laughing at your joke.
Not your own. Don't laugh at your. We don't have any Reddit update, do we? No.
Oh no! I should probably look that up, huh?
Yeah.
So any
first half?
Any thoughts on the first half? I think that's where most of our opportunities came.
Yeah, and they were good, solid opportunities. And I thought we should have scored 3 times. They could have given us a penalty kick on that one, where Luna went to head it and the guy kicked him in the shoulder. It really distracted him.
Oh, that's right.
That could have been a penalty.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how you look back at it and you say the guy's heading the ball right as the guy kicks him in the chest and it's not a penalty. You know,
I think
just because it didn't wipe him out doesn't mean it didn't affect the way he headed the ball. I don't know.
Well, that's one of those ones where...
Is it clear and obvious?
Not necessarily clear and obvious.
It was clear and obvious. He kicked him really hard right in the shoulder.
Where Diego's honesty, which I admire, cost him the PK. If Diego kind of takes the hit and kind of falls backward, maybe that's an easy penalty kick to give because you can obviously see that he knocked him over. But whereas he just kind of played through it, he's short, stocky, low center of gravity, right through it, not a problem.
Well, then he tripped over the goalie who was already injured.
I don't know if he tripped over him. I think he made sure he got the goalie.
Or he dove on it. One of the two, right?
I never heard, didn't check in to see. Hopefully it was nothing serious with Evan. Maybe just a sprain or something.
Yeah, I don't know. But he went to the training room and didn't come back. So I don't know if he went to the hospital, gotten, what are those things called? X-rays? MRIs?
MRI, yeah.
I don't know, whatever. He was holding his hand. But he came off and did a back pat bro hug with the guy that was coming in for him. So.
Yeah, maybe it was planned.
You never know. But little kid did well too. What was his name?
Hagen
from Guatemala.
Yep. So ends up going in. Let's see. There were some, I guess, 30 minutes with the injury, and then Crooks had in the 45th minute the pass to what? Who's the one?
I'm reading Reddit.
Okay.
We'll
get to share if it's that good.
That was the one in the 45th minute where Crooks just laid the ball on a platter right in front of Gomez, and he didn't even. I think his shoelace may have hit it, and then it went through. So 0-0 going into half. So are you going to take us into halftime there, Brennan?
Chicken.
This segment brought to you by
El Pollo Loco.
Chicken.
You like chicken? And
We
you're a
have
little
chicken.
crazy? Come on down to El Pollo Loco. We got your back.
Have you seen Heisenberg? Has Heisenberg been around?
All right.
And shout out to our friend No Wasabi-4084. We appreciate the comment. Random Fan Podcast sucks. Thank you.
No, nothing else. That's
no. He also said the RSL bros are below average. Love the rest though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Love the rest. Wow.
Yeah. So if you ever hear this,
Good thing
Wasabi,
he's giving us a fair shake.
Oh, no wasabi. He doesn't even like it spicy.
Right.
That's
See?
unfortunate.
He's just negative.
Or maybe he just doesn't like Asian people.
Ooh, harsh.
Ooh, terrible. See, no wasabi.
No, we
Is that
shouldn't have
code
said
for
that
something?
on the-
That's code for something, right?
Is it?
I don't know. We'll cut it out.
Most of the vegetables are, coded in something if you're texting emojis with vegetables. Don't do that, Brandt.
You're not supposed to?
No, Brandt. You know you're not supposed to. But
Do what?
Brandt, don't text vegetable emojis to people.
Why does my wife always have an eggplant next to my name? I don't understand.
Yeah, you don't.
Although we did go to Miyazaki's over there at Fashion Place Mall.
Yeah.
Great restaurant.
Really?
And they had wasabi underneath, like this potatoes and the steak medallions I had.
Wow.
Nice little kick of spice. It was nice.
Nice.
Yep. That's cool.
What about orange slices? None for wasabi.
No wasabi, 4084 or 40.
No orange slice for you.
Yeah. Did you also know the number 4 is very bad in Japan?
The number 4?
Yeah, so that's weird that he has the 4084. It means death.
Wow.
Yeah.
Death to wasabi.
Yeah, but they
He
love the
doesn't
number
like it.
8.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Anyways,
Fun facts with Brennan.
yeah. I am going to give my orange slice to the guy who kept trying, even though he was frustrated, and that'd be Mr. Chicho. I think pressing really hard, a lot of times by himself, but he was close to connecting quite a bit. I mean, he had that header that almost went in that was really solid. I mean, it's kind of a cop-out to give him an orange slice. I mean, if you want me to, I can give it a different one.
Too late. You already gave it.
I mean, I could give a different one.
It's a sticker, man. You stuck
it's a
it on
sticker?
him.
I stuck it on there?
Yeah, it's too late.
I stuck it on Chicho.
Yep.
Well, he did good.
I'm going to stick it on Glad. He did great. Solid back line. Commanded everything. Even ran down Jalen Russell Rowe one time from behind.
Oh, yeah.
Just a great game from Glad.
He was
clean too.
He was looking forward.
Yeah, he didn't have to get dirty on any tackles. He stayed on his feet the majority of the game. He played some good balls out of the back. Jay Glad.
I am going to go to the other half of the love connection in the middle and give it to Brian Ojeda.
Ooh, he did.
Anelli gets a ton of love. Both of them, as we mentioned, he didn't say love connection. Oh, I thought that would be kind of funny. But Pablo was talking about the almost psychic connection, the chemistry that has grown between Anelli and Ojeda, and I don't see anytime soon that pairing getting switched up. They've been playing so well together. I thought Ojeda was all over the place. He almost broke a cat's leg early in the second half. You could hear that crunch.
You mean Anelli? Anelli got him right at the
No, it was Ojeda. It was Ojeda went through the Columbus defender.
Oh, yeah?
In the 48th minute. Left him on the ground, and they went forward.
When did he get his yellow? Ojeda got his right at the end of the first half.
Yeah.
45 plus 3.
Yeah, so,
and then Anelli started the second half with a bang.
Yeah, he got one too.
Yeah. He almost broke it. Yeah, he thumped that guy real good.
So I really like the way Ojeda played.
Yeah, they said on the broadcast that Anelli's from Columbus.
Oh,
I guess. Yeah. The hometown kid, that's what they called him. But in that moment, he was dishing it out, not giving it. But yeah, so that's good. That's good. Ojeda and Chicho, and then Glad. So it's kind of the spine of the team, right?
Yeah. If you were going to give kind of an orange slice, I guess you could, on the offensive side, there weren't any goals. You could give, like, Gomez one for setting stuff up, but then you'd have to take it back for not being able to finish. Yeah. So it kind of balances that out. And I'm really curious to see what happens with Luna and Crooks and how the team figures out ways to incorporate in the game. Although I thought Crooks was all over the place.
Yeah, I thought he did very well, but he's still not connecting with Luna, and he's still not connecting with Gomez. Great, but he's doing enough. You know what I mean? It's interesting. We're clearly not playing his style.
And you could see oftentimes, like Brody and other players, Crooks would be like pointing at his feet, hand me the ball, give me the ball, and then they wouldn't pass it to him like they didn't feel comfortable or the pass was too tight with the defender. So there's still a ways to go in how the team meshes and gels with whatever they're going to do in the midfield.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's a Crooks issue or a the guys around him issue or what? We seem to get down Gomez's side pretty well, but the other side, it's almost it's definitely different, you know.
Non-existent. That transition through the middle to the other side is
not
just
as dangerous
doesn't
as
exist.
it was.
We're just it's literally have the ball somewhat in the middle third, and then it's shifted out the right side. There's no confidence being able to orchestrate through the two channels. Nothing.
Or to not go forward, control the ball if it's not there. Maybe this is a decision a more experienced player might play. Instead of trying to force everything down the side, they may pull up, send the ball back, recycle it back through, even if it's got to go back to the keeper, reorganize, and then try the left or the middle or the right side again. That doesn't seem to happen very often with RSL like it does with other teams, because once it gets to Gomez, it's gangbusters, which is working and creating.
Because he's so quick. But he's almost outrunning his whole team.
Yeah.
Happens sometimes in the Premier League, right? They'll get a guy that's just so fast that he's disconnected from the rest of the team.
Like Sterling.
Yeah. He was that way for a long time.
Especially
now
with
he's
Chelsea.
just not very good.
No, he's not.
You know what I mean? Now he's just not that good because part of what his game was built on speed, not skill as much. And I don't think
Some
he
would
ever
say
made
that about Gareth
transition.
Bale, you know?
Yeah, he's very fast for sure, but
He can still come to the MLS and win it.
yeah, he's good stuff.
And in the second half, I thought as the game wore on, Columbus kind of frustrated RSL, and did it feel like the field started to tip a little bit towards Columbus or even out. They made earlier subs than we did in the 69th minute. 69th minute, they took out Habaroun, the young kid, and then who came in? Hinestroza and Farsi and Rossi came in, and they seemed to...
Those are the regular starters.
Yeah, they seemed to have helped to make Columbus a little more dangerous. And then a couple minutes later, this was the sub that I thought was really interesting. And I guess, the logic from Pablo was we just weren't getting anything. They took both Luna and Crooks out in the 71st minute.
Isn't that nuts?
I thought it was really interesting. And they just kind of like, all right, we're not going to do anything in the middle.
Well, I see the Barajas and Luna swap as a positive. I see that as a tactical change, which it did honestly create a lot more chances on the left side, which we saw immediately.
It did do that.
Now, the Julio for Crooks, I think that's just because we don't have anybody else in that position that can replace Crooks and still be effective moving the ball forward.
So Chicho kind of slid underneath at times, but at times he was up top too. So
and also Chicho was getting gassed. So it actually seems like it was a good sub. It's just I'm losing my love for our boy Julio.
Yeah. Well, he didn't score and he wasn't offside.
That's true. He's just I don't know, man. It's like when you're like into a girl and she farts around you and you're like, I don't like her anymore. It's kind of like that. Like I was like, Julio, you're fast. You can do this. You scored
this,
before,
man.
and I'm like, wait a second, this guy.
Yeah,
Can't dribble.
We had Chang on the bench. Chang has been dangerous and created stuff kind of when he came in, but also
He's a winger though.
When has Chang been? No, what season? All right, we're in this season. Okay.
Well, you earlier in the season.
What U.S. Open Cup has Chang been dangerous?
No. But
one game this season, Chang
one
was
game,
subbed in.
he ran really hard.
He came in and created and put pressure on the back line. I'm not saying he's great. You're just trying. What are the options? We don't have a ton of options. I don't know what the Hidalgo sub was. Are we time wasting?
Probably.
Yeah,
They wanted to secure a point.
Maybe there was something they saw that they were trying to take advantage of Brody, and it felt like what's his name was over there. Rossi was over there, and he was trying to attack Brody, and so maybe he made that sub for fresh legs.
Could have been, because Columbus did have a couple of chances that that's doesn't matter. I mean, watch out, Columbus is going to catch us on a counter.
Don't laugh at yourself yet.
And it doesn't matter. We suck. So If we suck that bad, I can just do what I want. I can laugh at my own jokes. But that may have been the case. But we essentially only made 2 subs.
Yeah.
In the 71st minute, and not too much of a tactical change other than just keep lobbing it over the top. And it almost worked with Anderson Julio, but that guy and offside are just never going to get divorced. He's
They're eternal partners.
He's going to be, that is his eternal companion, yes. He is going to be offside all the time. I mean,
but so you look at the bench and you're like, okay, we could play Gozo. You throw him in, throw the kid in. Palacio's not really an attacker.
What is the deal with this guy, man?
He can't get playing time. He's getting outplayed in center defensive mid. Man.
We didn't even have a full bench.
Yeah, we did not have a full bench.
We
so
could have had, 2 more players?
Yeah, and that brings us to another point. Brandt and I got some inside information.
Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun.
They're on the inside. Our new segment.
We're-
the inside job.
We're talking to someone high up in the box.
Yeah.
Really?
Keep it anonymous.
Okay, keep it
We're
keep it unanimous.
We're keeping it
unanimous.
Unanimously, anonymity.
And somebody in the high up box said, front office? I don't know. Whatever you call it. Somebody that works for Real Salt Lake said they're not recalling anyone for center backs. They don't think that the center backs that are loaned out are MLS ready. So we won't be calling back number 99.
Oh, Orozco?
Jaziel Orozco.
Okay.
Or
I think that was
Kevin Lambert.
Lambert.
Well, they don't see him as a center back as much.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
And so he kind of slid out and lost his spot to Anelli and Ojeda.
That's unfortunate because he got called up.
Right. And he still gets called up for Jamaica, but he can't get games with Real. You know what I mean?
And I think Hazi El Orozco, I think they're not even going to play him at center back.
He's kind of little for the position.
He's like 16.
Well, he's young, but he's playing for long.
I think he's 18 or something like that.
He's 18 now?
Maybe they're waiting until he gets over 5'9".
Seeing if he's got a little height left in him.
Yeah.
See if he can go left back.
And they did say that they are looking perhaps to bring in a center back before the window closes.
But not the one window because it already closed it.
No. It goes through
Tell us about the windows, Brandt.
I think the window closes April 29th or somewhere in April 20-something.
Yeah, are those the see-through windows? The closed windows?
Double paned?
Open windows?
Are they double paned?
No, it's the main window for MLS at the start of the season. And then they have a summer transfer window later on, which usually is the middle of July to August, somewhere in there, which is the second transfer window.
And we did see people on computers looking like they were trying to recruit people, too. There's some good inside information. It looked like they might try to recruit people. We even talked to 2 players in the box.
Tyler did.
The player suite. I did. I did my undercover detective work.
How are you undercover? You're tall and bald.
I know. So I look.
You literally walk
I look
over
like
and
a dad.
Hey, a big fan.
No, I pretend I'm somebody's dad, and I just wander around, and I'm like, "Hey, is this? Are you so and so? My son told me, Justin Glad. He told me to meet you up here.
My son, Justin Glad.
I was going to say Andrew Brody, but you know.
Well, that wouldn't match up, right? I'm tall and bald, and he's short and hairy, so.
You know, you could be the mailman, you know.
Yeah, so I go with Jake Glad.
Go into the character a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like, oh, scandalous. I'm actually only the stepdad. Yeah, like
Hidalgo. Yeah, there you go. I could be the bio dad.
You're Tyler Davis.
I'm so mad at that stupid Bodie. Didn't take my name. Just kidding. No, that's funny. But yeah, so I talked to a couple guys there, and they looked center back-esque. Wasn't sure if they were Monarchs players or potential signings. Keep an eye out this week.
Breaking news.
That's all I can tell you right now.
Breaking news.
But his agent was there too.
Oh. Whoa.
Oh.
Well, let's sum up the game. It was 0-0. We lost. A lot of yellow cards.
We lost 0-0 game.
Yeah,
How
we
bad
lost.
did we
No.
lose?
At home, if we get 1 point, we lost. Because
that's
this
fair.
is the fortress that we're trying to build, right?
Especially if we didn't score,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
especially with all those chances. And so I get why people are frustrated, and this podcast won't be as listened to as the other ones, just because people engage less when we don't win. When we win, our podcast goes through the roof. So I think we're the fair-weathered fan podcast, too. We get way more listens.
The people don't like us.
Plenty of people like us.
It's
They
just
do.
wasabi.
It's just
It's
the
just
people
wasabi.
it's the people that want to hear people slam other people. They don't come to our podcast because we don't really do that.
We don't even talk about the other podcasts. And also, when I was
Right.
reading that on Reddit, I was like, wow, there's a lot of podcasts. I was like,
There
I was like, they're still naming podcasts for one team. That's crazy. I thought there was like 2.
Yeah, when all of a sudden we
Hey, we're
started.
top 3 though.
We are?
No,
Oh,
I don't
okay,
know.
I was gonna say.
There's no metric that definitively says that. So we say we're top 5, but you know, whatever.
We're definitely top 10.
Yeah, it's true. We are top 10. Give us a 9
I
and
give
a
us
half.
more credit than we probably deserve, but anyway.
No, we're glad you listen.
You and 300 other people probably listen to this podcast.
That's good.
You're not
very
alone.
Mm-hmm.
And we're positive. We don't slam people.
Yeah.
But that ref! No,
Yeah.
he was quick to yellow card, and that kind of crippled him, and that was tough. I also struggled with the Luna getting kicked thing.
So let's expound
we
on that.
not-
What is that? Doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
He's not. It's a high kick because it's above the waist, right? It's a high kick.
Yeah, he kicks him in
And
the shoulder.
Luna doesn't have to go very far down to get his head right next to the ball. So why is that not called a foul? Because it is also late.
Yeah.
It is not like Luna just barely got there. No, it was late, and it was a full connection straight to the dome.
And here's the thing. I've seen MLS refs call this differently, right? It's like that. It's like a couple, what was that, last year when we had the Greek guy. He was our ref.
Photos Bazakos.
Bazakos. He called that, right. The play went up, came back, the shot went off, it missed, and he went back and called the foul that led up to the shot.
Oh.
He called it back and gave him a penalty. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've seen people do that, like him, call it back. And then I've seen other people that are like, they take him out, they call a penalty right then. Okay, that's fine. But I have no idea because they don't share their conversation.
Oh, I know.
Right? Like, hey, might as well check that while we're here. Since the guy looked like he broke his arm and we're all taking a 5-minute break, the concession stands all heat up.
Yeah.
By the way, it would be nice if everything wasn't $18, right? Talk about being a positive podcast.
What's $18?
That hot dog and soda, that'll be $18.
Really?
Oh, that's the cheap side, too.
Yeah,
Yeah, the food's a little pricey out there.
Yeah, that's something that they should look at. We were talking to somebody on the inside too, and they thought the
They thought the concessions were
concessions were
expensive.
were rather high as well. So, thoughts on the game? I think we're kind of wrapping it up. It feels like you think it's 2 points dropped.
I think it's yeah. I think it's a loss.
Well, I was disappointed because I wanted to see Columbus at full strength. They have a really good team and a very exciting team, and a lot of the guys didn't even make the trip. They just went back to Columbus. You know what I mean? So that's kind of sad.
Well, it shows what we mean in the league. You know,
I wanted
what
to
other
see the
teams see us.
Cucho-Chicho matchup. Chicho-Cucho,
Mm.
right? And that didn't happen. So anyway, kind of sad.
Yeah, and I guess I'll just read like I've been. I'll beat a dead horse and just say,
Do it.
We're going to reserve a little bit of judgment and take a look at this game maybe in a couple games and see if it was just a one-off or it was
If this
pointing
is a
to trend issues that could be coming up. And we need to be worried, but at the same time,
Well, speaking of issues coming up, we get out on the road next week.
2 games in a row on the road.
First to Chicago.
We're playing a little better this year.
Mm-hmm. And they're still playing at downtown Soldier Field in the, what do they call that? The inside the train, whatever, the inside the line.
Tram lines?
Anyway, it's the Chicago. It's a nice part of Chicago. Not the bad part where they had the stadium, soccer-specific stadium before. And that's a whole mess that they made for themselves there in Chicago with the previous owner.
Stadium's still there.
Stadium's still there, but now nobody's using it. And then we go to Philadelphia the week after. So 2
Philadelphia's been playing really well. They're in 3rd place. They don't have a loss. I think there are 3 wins, no losses, and 4 ties, something like that.
Yeah, and Chicago is actually pretty good this year. They've had a rough couple of years, but
I believe they're sitting in 11th.
And against us, they're 8, 9, and 7. So they're 8 wins, 9 draws, and then we have 7 wins.
Yeah, they're sitting in 11th, but they have 9 points.
Yeah, so 3 wins.
3.
Yeah,
2 wins, 3 losses, 3 draws.
Oh, okay.
And scores around the league: Portland and LAFC, 2-2 draw. LAFC's struggling to get victories. They're not losing a ton, but
LAFC scored late, but the ref called a foul. Called it back.
No way.
I thought it was a legit foul too. They were bodying it off, and the guy just pulled his shirt. Ref could see it, and called it. Takes guts to do that, but and Portland was playing down a man too. So
Charlotte 3-2 over Toronto. DC United lost 3-2 to Orlando. I think that was a late goal.
Yeah.
Montreal 2-1 over Cincinnati. New York Red Bull and Chicago 0-0 draw. NYCFC 2-0 over New England. FC Dallas and Seattle. 2 lower Western League cellar-dwelling teams drew 0-0.
It's those ugly shirts, dude. The stripes with the ugly blue on the ugly blue with the green. They look good from behind, but not from the front. If you know what I'm talking about. The jerseys. Definitely the jerseys. What are you guys laughing about? I don't get it.
Sure you don't. Don't look that up, kids.
Look good from behind. What?
And then, no. Kansas City.
You sure took that like a center back.
Ooh,
Kansas
got really
City.
hot in here, right?
Only for you.
It's getting hot in here. Miami,
shirt's so
3-2 victory over Kansas City in front of 72,016 fans in Arrowhead Stadium.
They went to the NFL stadium to play, huh?
Sold it out.
And?
Miami won 3-2.
It was a good game. Messi had a great banger of a goal.
Yeah, he did. That was cool.
And couldn't happen to a nicer team.
Couldn't happen to a
Couldn't.
piece of junk.
Minnesota lost, surprisingly, 1-2 to Houston.
Yeah.
San Jose are just having a terrible start to the season. 1 victory is all. They lost 3-0 to the new look, revamped Colorado Rapids. And Vancouver.
Well, they passed it right in the middle of the goal. And then their keeper just took out a player. So that's 2 goals, right? Yeah, they did it to themselves.
I was going to look it up, and I didn't. So my sincere apologies. I wanted to see if
What?
how
You're going to look it up now?
how
You're going to interrupt me to look it up and then not talk about it?
We have a dummy right here. He's kind of. I had him all
Poor
fixed.
Dom, and he
then
went down.
My wife has a vendetta against this bobblehead.
I guess.
And she broke it again. She said it was an accident.
Gosh. Oh, it's an accident.
She said it was an accident the first time.
Mm-hmm.
But so Vancouver lost
every time.
3-1 to first place Galaxy.
Oh, yeah, Galaxy.
Did he even start?
That's what I was looking up.
No, I think he played, but
No, he was on the bench.
did he subbed in
Go
there?
to summary.
I think he did.
We'll see if Dami.
We just want to make sure he didn't score. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, he came in on the 84th minute.
84th minute.
What an expensive sub.
Yep. And did he miss? Yep, he missed.
So I guess we want his last goal to be against
Right.
RSL.
That's not too much to ask for, is it?
It could be the next time they play, too. He could score against us, and that'd be fine.
Yeah, Brian White scored their goal. He's their goal scorer.
And then Atlanta and Philly drew 2-2 on Sunday, and St. Louis beat Austin 1-0 on Sunday. And I watched most of that game. St. Louis, it was a pretty rough game, back and forth.
A lot of fouls, a lot of hacking.
St. Louis is struggling in their sophomore season. I think teams know how to play against them, and they've kind of lost that magic, the sophomore slump, where things that went right for them last season are things not going right for them this season. So
every time someone says sophomore slump, I think of wordplay. It's all about the wordplay.
No idea what you're talking about.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Is that a song?
No, what's that guy's name? Jason the Spaz? No, Jason Mraz. That's it.
Jason the Spaz.
Yep. Sophomore slump. Mix and a mingle.
I think we found our new halftime jingle.
Yeah.
Listen
What am I
closer
doing?
to the verse I lay.
By Tyler the Spaz.
Let's talk about something more important, shall we?
It's all
Yes.
about the wordplay.
No, let's go across the pond. Cross the pond in
Are we
our
gonna
new update called Is Wrexham Better? And yeah, Wrexham's a wee bit better. I'll tell you what, eh?
They're from Wales, not Scotland.
That's true, but that's the only accent I could do. What happened? So this is the other segment too. Come on, Crawley.
You had it. It
you
was there
had it,
for you,
man.
Crawley.
You were
Come
there.
on.
It happened. You let
Crawley.
Mullen be Mullen, and now they're
All right.
automatically up to League One.
Where they should be when you're spending 3 times everybody
Man,
else
back
in League
since
2.
back
Go back to the
seasons.
spend. It's not just about the spend.
No, it's not just about spending. It's about having quality owners. Quality players. Just kidding.
Well, and to be fair, they're recruiting because of their TV show. I mean, I want to be on TV. I'll go play for them.
Yeah, marketing's helping them out quite a bit.
And the League 2 players, they're signing 2 divisions down to then get them up to League 2. I mean, it makes sense, right? Like, it's a cool methodology. But not a lot of people could pull that off. So
They were pulling players from above them down to League.
Yeah, Mullen was one of them.
Yeah,
It wasn't the other way around. Crawley's doing the other thing where they're bringing
players up.
They're coaching players up the right way. And so let's get to the Come On Crawley update. I have a good story to tell you about the game. Guess who was there?
That'd be my
Your
sibling.
brother.
Your
Sam.
brother. Mm-hmm. And I tried to do something. Sam is not on Twitter. And his lovely bride, his lovely wife, Rihanna, is on Twitter, but she doesn't post very often. So I was trying to get the Crawley fans. I showed him a picture of Sam at his wedding, and he's got
the big old stash.
He's got the he pulls it off.
I mean, yeah.
He's got a thick
if
old
you're into that
stash.
soft stuff,
He's got the big fluffy porn stash going on there, and I sent him pictures and I told him, it's like, hey, if you see this kid, his name's Sam, he's hilarious. Say, hey Sam, your dad said to say hi.
And nobody did it.
That was what you said?
Yeah.
No, you're supposed to tell him, like, hey, I need you guys to pretend like you've known him forever.
And go up
you're
and
like,
give him
oh
a
my
hug.
gosh, Sam, where have you been, man? I haven't seen you in forever.
I haven't seen you since yesterday.
Yesterday. Yeah.
Well, anyway,
That's what you should have said. Made it funny instead of just like, hey, your dad
I
on
was
Twitter
thinking-
says hi.
I was thinking more about how Sam would react if someone said, Sam, your dad said to say hi. He's like, how do you know my dad? So
Yeah.
there were people that saw him, but they didn't go up and say hi. So, but they did figure it out at halftime that people were looking for him on Twitter. So, but it did not go well. I think about Crawley is at that point, kind of like Arsenal, if you want to be fair, where teams are getting to the point where they're going to be a good team, and the pressure gets to them. And what do? Maybe they crack a little bit when the pressure gets on them. So Crawley at home in front of a sellout crowd, kind of like RSL at fireworks games.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of like Liverpool against Crystal Palace this weekend.
And yeah, exactly. And
I mean,
So-
Crystal Palace is in 14th. To be fair, Villa's in 4th.
Well, Colchester is in 22nd, so they were
That's pretty close.
they were in 23rd.
We lost to Colchester.
We lost to Colchester 3-2 on 2 of the worst goals you've given up all season, Crawley.
Are they still in playoff contention?
Yes, they are still in 7th. They are 1 point ahead of Doncaster, who is like on a freaking tear. Doncaster's won like 8 games in a row, and like 8 out of 11 to 9 out of 11. They have just
Really?
been.
So they've been coached really well.
They have been screaming up the.
It's all about the coaching.
It is about the coach. Right?
So, so Crawley's in 7th. We lost 3-2. We'd almost had the grandstand finish, but the header went wide at the end after we caught up. So we've got Barrow at home tomorrow, and they're the team directly in front of us.
With the wheels.
Yeah. Yep, with the
Wheelbarrow.
wheels. We'll see if we can get them to fall off tomorrow. Get the wheels to fall off, and if we beat Barrow, we go ahead of them and into 6th. And then it's against Sutton United away. Sutton United's at the bottom. And then the last game against Grimsby Town at home. So it's all in our own hands. If we win all 3 games, we will be in the playoffs, which is a great goal considering most people expected us to be relegated through the end of the season.
I honestly expected it.
Wow, what a hater.
You
No.
are.
I also expected Zach McMath to lose his starting spot.
Yeah,
That's not working out so well, is
Your
it?
prognostications are not coming true. And then we can move on to Arsenal because somebody else, Sam, went from Crawley Town to Arsenal.
Did he?
Yeah, he went to the Arsenal game.
No.
He did.
Poor kid. That
I
was a
know.
rough one.
What happened?
So the only team to beat Arsenal twice this season, Aston Villa.
Aston Villa got you?
Yeah, twice. I mean, the second time, to be fair, they played great. They're in 4th place. They're no slouch.
So there's
They have
Oh
a
my
World
gosh,
Cup
dude. That's
winning goalkeeper on their team. They're not nothing. But Arsenal had plenty of chances in the first half, and kind of like Real Salt Lake in this game, couldn't put it away.
So yeah, Sam was at the Emirates. Him and his bride.
Wow.
him and
I'll
his
have to-
bride.
I'll have to
His
ask him
wife.
about it. Was she wearing the whole big white dress and everything?
That's how they got in free.
Oh,
it was
okay.
wear your wedding dress in the Emirates, get in free.
I'm sure it was free. I'm sure it was.
So yeah, so I don't know if there's a correlation there or causation with Sam being at both those games and not
losing
turning out
both.
well. I felt really bad for him.
Poor guy.
I didn't.
Oh, you're not an Arsenal fan though.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Right. Well, and Arsenal fell to 2nd place, which, they're 71 points, and Liverpool did too, 71 points. But Man City keeps on winning.
Jeez,
They beat Luton,
come
an injury-devastated Luton Town.
Can we just like what is going
Did
on?
you see the first goal for Man City against Luton Town?
Uh-oh.
Came off the dude's face.
Really?
Literally, Holland
Off
kicked
his
it off
face.
his face.
Really?
Yeah, Holland was kicking it parallel to the goal, and it ricocheted off the guy's face and into the goal.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
It was hilarious.
At least he didn't kick it off his own face.
Oh, did you see
Only
that guy that
Chicharito can do that.
got collapsed the other day?
No, what happened?
There was a Indica. Is that his name? Indica. Ndicka.
Really?
Yeah, he collapsed on the field in the 80th minute or something like that, and then they postponed the game. After.
Oh, yeah.
Who's he
What?
playing for?
Oh, is it Switzerland team? No, or
Oh,
I thought it was
what was it?
Evan Indica.
Yeah, Evan Ndicka. Yeah,
Roma.
Roma.
Yeah. Taken
Oh,
to the
yeah,
hospital
Italian.
after collapsing during the Udinese match.
Mm-hmm.
And they just postponed it. Just stopped the match.
Yeah. So,
But there he is flexing in the hospital.
yeah, he's out of the hospital now, so everything's good.
He's strong now.
But it's always scary when that stuff happens.
Jeez.
Yeah.
You got to
Yeah.
be careful.
and back to Man City. I think Liverpool and Arsenal are just waiting for the FA to come back with
They're
their
going to wait another
their
year.
penalty. It's like, gee.
Yeah, maybe if Liverpool and Arsenal go out there with their signs and picket in front
Yeah,
of
because
the
there
FA.
hasn't been much flack on this. Everybody's just waiting for them to do something.
Everton keeps getting their stuff knocked down,
Dude,
and
it's
they
like
can't
the-
play because they
It's
they
like the
have a
little
whole bunch of
brother.
injuries too.
Oh,
And Nottingham Forest got a points deduction, and
They've
yet
they've both had 2 this year now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They've
Everton,
been deducted twice this year. Everton had 2 points, and I think they're appealing it. But Man City can just get away with probably literal murder. They could probably
Little murder.
literal murder.
Lol murder. I think it would be more of it would be way worse if they actually killed someone. We're just talking about them spending money that they
Don't murder
aren't supposed to spend,
kids,
which
that's
is
bad.
that's bad too. But
Oh my gosh,
They're buying
Sheffield
wins.
United! Holy cow, man!
Rough.
16 points
Yeah.
this far in the
3
season.
wins out of the
I think
season.
the lowest points ever is like 13 with Derby.
Derby
Yeah,
did
that was a rough year.
What's up with Burnley?
The Rams. Burnley's not very good either. They're in
That-
every game, and then they give up like 2 goals in the 80 with plus minutes.
Isn't that Victor Company's team?
Oh yeah, Vincent Kompany.
Vincent Company.
Yeah, and it's also owned by that one guy with really long arms that played football and has wattage.
JJ Watt?
JJ Watt.
His
Oh,
wife got
brothers play, too.
his wife got an award for like
For owning a team.
no, it was something.
isn't she part owner with the?
She's a soccer player.
the
Yeah, she is a soccer player.
Yeah.
she was.
She is a professional
Oh.
soccer player.
Yeah, she just got awarded something. I can't remember. I saw it on my feed.
Yeah.
And then
Nice.
congratulations to Neverkusen or whatever it is. Leverkusen.
Oh yeah. So Granit Xhaka, former Arsenal man, didn't they were like, yeah, we're not going to renew your contract. He's still a good player. He's probably got a year or 2 left. Goes to Bayer Leverkusen. They've never won a championship ever in the history of the Bundesliga, like 40 something years. And this year they're so far ahead that they've already clinched. And I think they have 3 or 4 games left, but they clinched it and they won the last game like 6-0 or something.
They've
5-0.
got 5 games left. They have 79 points. Harry Kane, I don't know what he did to Bayern Munich, but they're only at 63.
And Bayern's won the league like the last 14 years or
11
something in a
years in a
row.
row.
Something ridiculous.
11 years in a row.
In a row. And
What are the odds,
Bayern's
Harry?
never, ever won the title. And they're so far ahead, they can't catch him now.
I saw a tweet. Somebody says, what can we do to pool our money to get Man City to sign Harry Kane?
Well, it's funny because, sometimes you get a piece like that with Granit Xhaka where he just completes you, He just completes you
From
as a
behind.
team. What?
From behind, right?
No. He can go both ways.
Stop laughing at ourselves.
You had me at.
You had me at Granit Xhaka.
You had me at Guten Tag.
That guy's awesome. I love that guy. Anyway, so Granit Xhaka, and he's buddies with Shaqiri, who plays for Chicago,
Really?
who we're gonna see next week.
Yeah, Shaqiri, an expensive player. Haven't
But
seen much highlights of
He's
him.
not getting a lot of results right now.
No.
He's not very good.
Yeah.
I think as far as high-profile players in our league, he should be
I was
doing a lot better.
I was excited when I saw he was coming, and he just hasn't done anything.
No. At first he was
Well, he
good.
hasn't done enough.
It could
and
just be
now
the
he's
coach, though.
not that good anymore.
It could be the coach.
Could be that he's getting some,
Wrong-
tired
wrong
legs, or
coaching.
his belly's kind of growing a little bit, maybe too. He's almost as chubby as I
He
am.
bad.
looks a little thick.
That's bad. That's bad.
Well, if you're trying to run, a lot.
it's not bad
No,
at all. What are
no,
you talking
bellies are
about?
great. But,
Bellies are awesome.
Well, if you're trying to run as much as a soccer player got to run.
When was the last time either of you ran?
Oh,
Yesterday?
Sure.
You run? You run?
Like ran? Like what do you mean run? Like
Like
a lap?
Or like a sprint?
A mile? A sprint? Let's see. Last time I played a soccer game, 2 months ago. Not like forever ago. I did see a thing that said most people don't sprint after 30.
Really?
Like
Why-
the majority of people don't sprint after 30.
Why would you?
See?
Says the guy who every time he ties his shoes, it's always on the edge. He's
side.
never in the
far
center.
down there, man. Gotta get out and around.
I got my slip-ons. No, I'm working on it. I don't want to be fat forever.
Plus, sprinting hurts after a certain age.
Join me on my quest.
To
We'll do it
sprint.
together.
RSL random fan. How to lose 60 pounds in 5 years.
Buy a Sprinter van, and then you're a sprinter in a Sprinter.
Yeah, we'll start something together, and I'll create a supplement.
For every new listener or viewer, 1 less calorie a day for this guy, huh?
Oh no!
Yeah, come on, tell your friends.
Do it, everybody.
Minus
Light
some
them
cows
up.
every day, baby.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, we got to get back to my dream of dunking a basketball. So, we'll start with
I dunked a
a
soccer
5
ball
foot
once.
ramp. We'll start with 5 feet.
With the trampolines.
Then we'll go to 5 foot 1 inch. So anyway,
All right.
thanks for listening. We've had a great time. Please follow us, like, review wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe. We put the podcast in audio and video form up there on YouTube. We're also on Goals TV, which has great podcasts from all across Major League Soccer, USL.
Check out the Chicago podcast, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, also, do you guys like to make old people angry?
Yes.
You do.
Well, if you're like me, where you enjoy it when old senior citizens get really frustrated, go out and buy yourself a pickleball paddle from Ghost Pickle. Anywhere you can find a pickleball court, there's going to be some old people that you can piss off. So
Why? Because you're better than them?
yeah, if you're younger, more spry, you know.
I can't hit stuff. I only kick stuff.
Oh, really?
Could I still play? Will I look silly in front of old people? Because
You are
fun
old people
too.
now. What do you mean by old people?
I can still run.
I said senior citizens, so 65 and older.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Those
Wow,
old
so
people.
sensitive.
No, I
Holy
did.
cow.
How old are you, Brandt?
I did use my first
56.
senior discount.
Really?
That was exciting. It
Really?
was 55 and over, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's why I don't know why you're not in the community. You need to get into a community.
Why are you not in that home?
Yeah, you need to get into a community.
need to do an
ASAP.
rest home so you
Rates
can
are
rest,
high
bro.
right now. If you can get in now, you can really save yourself some dimes.
I know.
You
I
know?
haven't been
I don't
downstairs
think he knows
in
how
years.
rates work.
Yeah,
I don't even know what's down in our basement. I just don't go downstairs.
we know.
We're waiting for... We tried to get the chair hooked up, but it didn't work. Down the stairs.
Yeah, those knees.
But yeah. Support Brandon Steinekert and Ghost Pickle. Ghost Pickleball. I think it's ghostpickleshop.com, something like that.
Yeah.
Go there but check out all the places that you can find us. Subscribe, like, rate 5 stars. That is preferred. Or just be honest, Mr. Wasabi.
You know, honestly, like,
if
keep
not,
the...
just go to Reddit and complain.
Yeah, dude,
you
because
can be
that's
totally anonymous.
That's so entertaining.
and it doesn't matter.
I actually loved it. So, like, please tell us if we're bad, and I will
tell
read
us
it.
what you like or what you don't like. Brendan
I
will
will
read it. next
totally
week.
read it on the podcast.
We understand we're amateurs. We're trying to get better. We love doing this. We love talking soccer. Love talking Real Salt Lake. And even the winkers across the pond.
Yep.
And Crawley.
Dude, I thought we didn't swear on the podcast.
Yeah, seriously, man, grow up.
Yeah, come on.
All right, bye.
I'm sorry. See ya.
We hope you have enjoyed this episode of the RSL Random Fan Podcast. Join Brandt, Tyler, and Brennan every week wherever you get your podcasts. Share with your soccer-loving friends, download, subscribe, rate, and follow. You can find them on Twitter at RSL Random Fan and at RSL Random Fan Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. You can also reach out via email at rslrandomfanpodcast@yahoo.com. Thank you for listening.